Hello friends, once again welcome to my channel. In this tutorial I'll show you how you can create a SMTP relay. Now you can configure this SMTP relay through different there are different ways you can have this configured actually. The first thing is if you're having an on-premises Exchange server running, you can have this relay configured. If you're having a Linux box running, you can have the SMTP relay configured on a Linux running box, Linux running machine. And another way is to having this configured from an Office 365. So if you're having a license like E1, E3, E5, any one of the above, you can have this SMTP relay configured. It's pretty simple. But there are few prerequisites that needs to be met before you can proceed, or else this won't work. The first thing first is you need to make sure that whichever ISP you have, they have the port 25 opened for you, which means that the traffic needs to be routed or the traffic needs to be allowed to pass over port 25. I'll show you how you can test that. So it's pretty simple. You can just install the Telnet client. Okay, so first you need to have this Telnet client installed. You can go to appwiz.cpl, add or remove programs, basically, which you'll get on all the windows. Okay, and you can install the Telnet client. And there are other ways as well. I'll show you, but this is the common one. Telnet. First thing first is smtp.gmail.com port 25. Because we are working on port 25, SMTP works at default port is port 25, so we have to concentrate only on port 25 as of now. So you'll get in reply this kind of message 220 smtp.gmail.com esmtp. Okay, which means that you're getting a reply from the Gmail's SMTP server. Okay, so I'll quit from here, and so that's how you test whether port 25 is enabled from your ISP's end or not. If it is not enabled, you need to call your ISP and you need to tell them that I need to have the port 25 open. Now, the second thing is that, which is also related to this, that your ISP might tell you that if you're configuring this, then you need a static public IP address. That is absolutely right. To have this configured, you need a static public IP address. Generally, ISP will charge you around 200 to 50 bucks per month, which is the standard rate for all the ISPs. It shouldn't be more than that. Okay, so how do you check your public IP address? So you just type, or you can just type in IP. You can go to the first link. What is my IP address? So this is your public IPv4 address. You need to confirm this with your ISP, that how you get this transferred to a static one. Okay, so this is the second prerequisite that you need to check with your ISP. Next, what we will do is that we will jump over to our Office 365 portal, where I'll show you how you can check certain things. And like I told you, that there are other ways you can have the ports checked. You have this online portals where you can check your ports whether they're open or not. Okay, so by default it will pick up your public IP address. You need to just type in smtp.gmail.com port 25, and as you can see, port 25 is open on smtp.gmail.com. Okay, there are other third-party websites as well from where you can check. Okay, you have port query tool as well. There are different ways you can check that. That's okay. Now let's hover up to Office 365 portal. So this is how the Office 365 portal looks. What we'll do now is, first we will check our what would be the SMTP address or SMTP server name. for us. So this is the new admin center. This is a new look. I'll switch over to my older look. First, you need to go from here. You see this range, something like this. Okay, from there you need to go to domains, and this is my default tenant. Okay, and I need to hover up to my actual tenant name, and here you will see that the MX record is already present. Okay, and you'll see that something like this. For your domain name, it will start with your domain name -com dot. This part will remain same. This dot mail dot protection dot outlook dot com. These remain same for each and every tenant. This doesn't get changed. What gets changed is the domain name. Okay, ntcgtech dot com. So what I'll do is that I will copy this and I'll put it in a notepad. Okay, and these would be there by default. You don't have to do anything. Okay, I'll close this one as I don't need it anymore. And next what I'll do is that I'll go to Exchange Admin Center. Okay, so from here what I'll do, I'll just go to Exchange Admin Center. Okay, so this is how the Exchange Admin Center looks. From here we'll go to mail flow. We will go to connectors. Okay, so from here we'll create on the plus sign. So I'll request to ignore this because by default this would be blank because I've already created a relay. So we'll click on the plus sign. From here you need to select your organization's email server, which is basically an Exchange server, and then you need to select Office 365. Then you need to click on next. You need to give a name. You can give any name so that you can understand. Description, and so for example I give this testing relay. Description, it's optional. Turn it on, return. Okay, I'll turn it on. I'll click on next. Now I need to select the second option, and basically it will tell you to enter the public IP address of yours. So whatever public IP address you have, like I showed you. So what is my IP? You just need to copy the public IP address from here. Okay, just copy the public IP address and you put it in. That's it. You click on OK and that's it. That's how it's done. Now I'll show you this one, mine, which I've already configured. So I click on edit, and I've given this SMTP relay. The name is SMTP relay. Description is testing. Turn it on. Next, and as you can see that this is the IP address that I've already entered: 93.171.61, 93.165. Yep, that's it. Next, and this is done. So the first part is complete. Now what you need to do is that you need to log into your hosting provider as well. So hosting provider for me, it's GoDaddy, from where I have taken this, from where I've purchased the domain name. So I go to GoDaddy, I log into GoDaddy, sign in. I have to enter the MFA. I have to enter the MFA code. Okay, so this is my hosting provider's homepage, how it looks. From here, I need to go to DNS Management Portal, and in DNS Management Portal, you will see that the MX record is already present, which I already told you. You don't have to do anything else related to MX record. Okay, then you need to come down and you need to find out where you see something called a txt record. Okay, so you need to click on edit, and the value of the txt record will look something like this. Now what you need to change is you need to enter this thing. This is the value basically for the txt record. So let me copy it in a notepad. So v equal to spf1 ip4 colon, and then you need to give your public IP address, which I already showed you, then space include colon spf.protection.outlook.com space dash all. So having a txt record means that you're telling that this domain, you have already verified your domain using a txt record, and you're also telling that whatever mails would be triggered from the relay, that shouldn't be moved to any kind of spam or any kind of different folder. It should directly land up onto your inbox. So that's what this means. So first thing is that you have to configure the SMTP relay from your connectors. So basically you're creating a connector from the mail flow and from the connector, and then you need to go to your hosting provider where you need to mention the public IP address in the txt record. So these are the two things that you need to do to have a relay configured, and that's it. Your job is done. Now how will you test it, whether it's working or not? Now if I go to the recipients, I see that this is my primary mailbox because I have a single user license. So this is my email address, neil.sarkar@ntcgtech.com. So what I would do right now is I would test that whether I'm getting emails from any kind of aliases. Now whatever mails would be coming from aliases. So these are not mailboxes which actually present, or which is actually present, sorry. So for example, alerts@ntcgtech.com, do not reply at ntcgtech.com. So these kind of, you know, uh, automated emails would be triggered from these kind of emails or these kind of mailboxes. Okay, so let me quickly show you. So when I say mailboxes, these are not these are not mailboxes which actually present. Okay, so these are just aliases. So these do not exist in our database. Okay, if you see, I only have one mailbox and there is no other mailbox which is configured. So the command for this is you can have this customized in your own way. The one that I use is, I'll copy it in a notepad. Send mail message. So this is basically a partial command which comes inbuilt. You don't have to do anything else. Okay, just make sure that the partial is updated, and you would get these CMD are already available. Send dash mail message space minus from, you have to mention from where you want to receive the email address, and minus 2 dash 2 to which mailbox it would trigger to or where it would land up to. Okay, then you need to mention the subject. For me, I have written, instead of test mail, let me write, this is a test going on for relay for SMTP relay, and then minus SMTP server, you need to give the SMTP server. So for me, this is the SMTP server, which I already told you how you can check what would be yours. I copy this. Okay, and this already copied, sorry. So I'll just press enter, and that's it. If you're getting uh, if you I'm sorry, if you're getting if you're not getting any error, you're very well and good. And but if you're getting any error, I'll tell you what you need to do. Now let me open up my mailbox and see if I've received an email or not. Yeah, at 4:41. No reply at ntcgtech.com. Okay, so this was the subject. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, this is a test going on for SMTP Relay. So as you can see that I'm getting the automated now. Basically, you would configure this kind of relay in your own application or in your own partial scripts or any other third-party tool that you're using. So you just need to mention the email address and the SMTP server name, and you need to make sure that the firewall or the ports are open, the firewall rule is enabled, and there is a traffic, the incoming traffic is enabled. Okay. Now, the second thing is that what I was telling you, that in case if you get any error which says that due to some XYZ reason, Office 365 or Microsoft has blocked the, you know, it's not allowing you to, receive an email from this particular email address, because Microsoft wouldn't recognize these kind of email address unless it's verified from your end, so that it's not considered as a spam, right? So you would get error in red color if Microsoft or any other you know uh, mail databases blocking your mail server or your emails. So in that case, you will get the URL over here from where you need to unblock the email address. So you just copy the URL from here and you open up the URL and you enter your public IP address, and you give your email address from where you would be receiving. So for example, if it is no reply at ntcgtech.com, for yours it will be different. And you can have alerts at ntcgtech.com, you can have anything. So basically, the catch over here is that this can have anything. So instead of no reply, you can have anything. But after the @ symbol, which defines your domain name, you cannot change it. So what I can do is that instead of having from send mail message from no reply at ntcg.com to news server ntcg.com, I can have my own Gmail address. Let's see if I get it in my Gmail. Okay, it didn't give me any error, but let me see if I actually got an email or not in my Gmail. Oh yes, I got an email from my domain name to my Gmail address. So guys, if you think that this video was helpful, if you liked the video, if you found it was very informative, please do like, share, and please put down your comments below in the comment section. And if you want me to clarify on certain points, you are always welcome. You can do that. Or if you think that I have missed, or I might have incorrectly explained you something, please do give a feedback on that as well. You're always welcome. So, and you can also let me know that if I need to improve on certain points, maybe if I'm not explaining it properly, you're always welcome. I'm always open to a suggestion. So please do that, and take care guys. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.